Welcome back and thanks for stopping. Today I want to show you about strip grazing. To start with, there's two important things that need to happen for strip grazing. You need a perimeter fence, which this fence line here is a temporary fence that we put up around this field. And I don't remember if this field is about 10 acres, if it's 15, somewhere in there. It's around that 10-acre mark, but there's a fence that we put up around the whole perimeter of this field. The way we're doing a strip graze in this field is with these things called a tumble wheel. And what happens is we've got our reel with our poly wire, and that goes through the shaft here in the middle, and then these parts here, they come and stick out, and it just tumbles along as you pull it. You got to keep a little bit of tension on it. But other than that, we go from here and we go all the way over to here. And them tumble wheels, they just keep on rolling, and they give a strip however big you want it. And these guys here, they know exactly what's going to happen, so they're waiting for these tumble wheels to get rolling. So Colton, go ahead. And as he walks, he holds tension on it, and they just keep on rolling, and the cows know exactly what to do. And as you get farther along, you get a little bit of a swoop in there, so you just got to tighten up the poly wire, and the rest of them come following along. Oh, there's a small group right down there. Oh, they figured out what's happening. Here they come. Now there's a couple of factors to take into consideration when you're doing strip grazing. With this setting, our water supply is way over there by them silos and the barn. And there's not a water supply that feeds the whole perimeter of the field here. So that's why the strip grazing only consists of a partial move each day. It gives them a fresh batch of grass, and there's alfalfa in here and clover, and it gives them enough to eat for the day. Plus, if there's some residual stuff that they left over behind them, they can munch on that stuff until they get moved the next day. It's just kind of an eyeball thing, checking out how the grass is being grazed, how close they're grazing it down, if they're ready to move, all of that kind of stuff. One other option we could have had, boy, that wind is crazy. Woo! I'm gonna go over by the corn. All right, I think I'm out of the wind enough here. While Colton's finishing up there with the tumble wheels, I was going to tell you there's a few different ways that you can strip graze. The way that we're doing it right now is due to the water, but there's also ways where if you have water supplied to all of the areas, we could come all the way across in the center of the field. We could split it in half, and then we could start running the cows from the barn there. You could start bringing them across there and then bring them all the way down, and then start bringing them back across here where they're at now. But the problem is here, the water is stationary. And then you could also have another set of tumble wheels that go along behind the cow so that they're not able to regraze what you already had grazed. So strip grazing can be utilized in pretty much any type of a grazing method that you wanted to. When we do a silvopasture, you could have a section fenced off with the poly wire and the reel. If you have the rotational grazing, you can section off that area with a poly wire as well, and some temporary posts. And then with the tumble wheels, what could easily be done if you have the proper setup with the water and water lines and all of that kind of stuff, is you could have another set of tumble wheels that are following along behind the cows, so that they're only able to graze the portion that you have available to them, rather than allowing them back across out in the field here where they can just regraze what they've already grazed. But typically they always go to that new area that you give them, so it's not that they're overgrazing the field part, It's that you want to minimize or manage the amount of grazing that's happening when you move them each time. Yeah, and you're a perfect example of why this system works so good. And what they've got here, they've got clover, they've got alfalfa, they've got grasses, they've got a whole different gamut of things that they have to select from. And where they just came from, you can kind of see some of the alfalfa here. They clipped off the tops. Some of the clovers they didn't even touch. The grasses, the grass has the point on it yet, so they by no means overgrazed this area. So one of the major benefits of this is as they are moving, they're distributing these things, the cow patties, nice and evenly all the way out around in the field here. It's not being condensed in one area. They move around fairly quickly, and as they're moving, they're pooping. And there's another one right there, and keep on moving, along with the urine and all of that stuff, which is going to be helping the biology in the soil, which in turn should allow a healthy recovery for this field. Well, before we get blown away, we're going to let them do their thing and graze away, and we're going to head out. So, goodbye for now, and thanks for watching.